Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Gentleman Wizard here, and today we'll be going over 5 steps to go from 0 to hero in Dead by Daylight. Now, what makes me qualified to give this list? Well, for one, I have over 200 hours in the game, and for 2, I have reached rank 1 twice since February. Now, you don't have to listen to this list word for word, but I noticed that since I've kind of taken these little behaviors into my gameplay, I've done a lot better. So, in no particular order, let's get into it. My first piece of advice is to inspect your immediate area when you start to work on a gen. The reason why I give this advice is you want to have an escape plan in mind for when the killer sneaks up on you. It gives you the advantage because when the killer does sneak up on you, if you have a plan to escape, he might not be as familiar with the area as you are. Now, I don't mean observe every nook and cranny, but at least have a plan. Inspect if there's a pallet over there or a window or a building, somewhere you can run to for when the killer just kind of appears. My second piece of advice is to don't stop running. This is incredibly important, and I think this is probably what has propelled me to be such a better player. Not only do you get used to running away from the killer a lot faster, a lot of the times when you're injured or the killer is chasing you, when you're injured, it's very easy to find you. First of all, you leave more scratch marks, and a lot of the players that play Dead by Daylight play with a gaming headset, so they can make out the noise you're making and where you are very easily. I can't tell you how many times I went down early in my Dead by Daylight career, thinking I lost a killer just to be found. A lot of pro killers, like I said, play with gaming headsets. Make them work for that down. Chase after you for as long as possible, using pallets and windows to your advantage. Try your hardest not to go down near the basement, and that's going to lead me to my step 3. Stay away from the basement. Oh my god, please stay away from the basement. If you see the basement, try to get away from there. There is no point of being close to the basement unless there's a gen. And even if there's a gen in the building of the basement, go work on another gen. I do not recommend being anywhere close to the basement, because being placed in the basement if you are downed adds a very, how do I say this? If you are downed near the basement, it's very hard to save you, as there's only one entrance and one exit to the basement. So if someone comes and takes you off the hook, let's say the killer is not being a camper, even if he gets back there and you're running up and you're injured, unless the person has borrowed time, it's very unlikely that you're going to get out of that basement. You're just going to be put back on the hook. Not to mention, if that you're placed in the basement, other survivors are less likely to come and save you because, he's in the basement. So try not to go down near the basement. Stay away from the basement as much as possible, unless you have no choice and you just happen to run across it and then the guy has iron grasp. Make him work for that down. Don't let him put you in the basement, because that's basically an easy hook for him. Know who the killer is. This is a lot easier if you have party chat, as you can communicate with other team members who the killer is. The sooner you know the killer, the sooner you can develop a strategy. Like for against trappers, I like to avoid tall grass. That way I don't have to run into a trap. For hags, I crouch when approaching gens. For hillbillies, I like to be around objects, so that way I can prevent myself from being automatically downed by that chainsaw attack. So the sooner you know who the killer is, the sooner you could kind of take your foot off the gas in some of those areas and focus on the ones that killer is special at. This leads me into my next step. Approach every match like you're facing Michael Myers. The reason is because Michael Myers can just sneak up on you because he has a very low terror radius. The Wraith could also do this to some effect, so if you want to take this for looking out for the Wraith, you could do that too. Just make it a habit of looking around while working on gens and listening for the sound cue for skill checks and keep an ear out for that terror radius. Keep that exit plan I told you earlier in mind for when you see that albino William Shatner looking motherfucker sneaking up on you. Also look out for moving ravens or wheat in the cornfield and any other indicators of movement. It might just be a survivor, but hey, if it's moving towards you, you just want to be alert. So those are my 5 steps to become a better Dead by Daylight player. For a lot of people, this might be redundant information because you might be already a rank 1 survivor yourself. This is more geared towards those people stuck in the rank 18s, 19s, and 20s, and they can't seem to get over the hump. If you take this advice into mind, I'm pretty sure it will help you, because it helped me when I was still getting used to the game. These steps I still listen to this day. It's very simple advice, but maybe it never occurred to you to do these things. I do have an additional 5 steps that I'll share at a later date. If you guys find this video informational, I have another 5 steps I could follow up with. So let me know what you think. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. I am still a new YouTuber, but I plan on sticking with this. So if you appreciate quality content. I plan on cranking that out. Thank you again. Take care.